Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Canal Sidings Old Railway channel. And for a little more progress on my train room update. Used to be called my workshop, it's now called my train room. I haven't done an enormous amount since last time because I suffered a bit of a setback just under 2 weeks ago. I was getting dressed on a Monday morning, putting my socks on as I always do, and suddenly my back locked up. So I ended up unable to do much for most of that week. This past week and last weekend I enlisted the help of my youngest son, and we did actually start to make some progress again. What has happened, if I swing round now, is you'll see that Canal Sidings has now gone. There is the Inglethwaite layout, underneath it no Canal Sidings anymore. The reason that that has now gone is that I can't do anything with it in there. I need to get to all that electrical stuff there to tidy it up, sort it out. All of that lot that you can see under there controls the fiddle yard, which is in the garage. The 6 boards that are identical, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 6, with all the vertical FETs and the big capacitors on, operate all the points in the fiddle yard and the points in the junction that is the south junction from the fiddle yard. The next board is another Merg board which has been modified, which has got 8 outputs on it, and the last board with all the blue relays on is the one that is controlled by that board and switches between all the cameras, switches over the reversing loop in the garage, and also operates the uncouplers in the garage. So as I say, all of that's got to stay because the garage part of the layout is not going to be replaced. But having got rid of Canal Sidings, you can see how far it used to stick out. That trestle with the piece of wood on top of it butted up to the back of this table is in its position that it was with Canal Sidings on it, and you can see the gap behind it, which is about 6 inches, and that's what I want to gain if I possibly can. If I pull back again, this piece of white plastic angle here is there as a marker as to where the front of Canal Sidings will be, and hence the front of the new Inglethwaite layout will be. They will match in terms of where they are sitting. That in the corner there is the old Inglethwaite control panel, I should say. Most of it's not used. The section switches, as you can see, which are the red ones, are mostly all switched in the same direction, such that the DCC power gets to all the sections. The ones that are switched to the left are actually the ones that are running the train on the inner rail, which is the DC. What my son and I did, if I pull back further, is we made this white desk that's across here with the chair underneath it. That's made out of melamine chipboard, and the top is made out of a lamination of 2 pieces. I have no idea if we can see that, but if we look underneath we might just about be able to see there's another piece under there which is screwed to the top piece, this piece, and that gives it sort of double the strength. So I got away without any support along the front. It'll sag a little bit, but hopefully not too much, as there's not a vast amount of weight on it. The back of course won't sag because we have a 6-inch upstand sat there, which is screwed all the way along the back, and I've also continued it along here so that I don't lose things off the back or off the side. And as you can see, it butts this end right up against the table that carries. I've just had a problem, hang on. I'll just stop the intermodal because I have a derailment. One of the Hornby wagons has decided to derail itself. But as you can see, that butts up against the worktop with the cupboards under it that holds North Grove, and round the corner there is where North Grove's fiddle yard will join on, and I can just get a cassette in there and plug it in to the end of that track when I've done everything else. This desk now is known as my technology desk. That's what I like to call it. And as you can see, it's got a TV on it which is actually playing a DVD which is coming from that white file server up there, and the other monitor is a real monitor, has the JMRI up on it, and there in that corner, if it comes out on here, is the Inglethwaite plan of this room, with all the points operable by JMRI. I'm not going to do it now because I can't do it with a camera in my hand. That's all running off of this laptop, and the other laptop is my spare laptop, my extra laptop, the one that I use for various other things. If I want to go online, I'll use that one, and it does quite a few other odds and ends. Also on here we have a tablet, which is a 10-inch tablet, which I can connect to JMRI and display that control panel, the blue control panel on it. I can also use it to set up routes, operate uncouplers and everything, and switch the cameras about in the garage. And I can also drive trains with it, so there's a bit of everything can be done there. I've got my remote controls on there. The big one on the left is for the TV. The white one is the power control for all of the switching of all the mains over there, so I can switch various bits and pieces on. If I operate, if I get the right one, I think if I operate that one, it'll turn the lights off. That turns the lights back on. So that's what that's all about, because I can't reach that when Canal Sidings is there, of course. What else have we got on here? We've got the white thing down there is a portable keyboard that I can talk to either of the PCs with. It depends where I plug this USB in. At the moment it's on this one. If I plug it into this one, then I can talk to that PC with that keyboard. And there's the mouse, which also goes with the keyboard. You can swap it around. That thing in the corner there is a USB hub, which does various things. One of the connections on it is purely a power supply, and it powers the aerial amplifier for the television, because I don't get a particularly brilliant signal in here. Another one of the connections on it is used to connect to, and I've mentioned this before, well now we can probably see it, is used to connect to that board up there. Oh dear, I can't get in there. That board up there behind all the wires, which is the NCE USB board, which allows, oh, excuse me, I'm trying to get up again, which allows JMRI to actually talk to the NCE system. There's the power cab sitting there, although that's actually not a power cab. The whole thing is running off of that SB5, which I've pointed out before, sitting over there. And that there is my audio system, which won't sit there eventually. That will push back round that way when this is out of the way, when I can finally get rid of it. And that's the power supply and the subwoofer for that. So that's what we've done. All the power for that desk is down there in that heap of wires there. Lots of things needed, and of course, because I've built this laptop in, I've had to buy another power supply for it, because one of the main things that that laptop gets used for is to drive my silhouette cutter, which if you've watched all my videos before you will have seen it. And that doesn't happen on here. That will probably get done in the dining room usually, where there's a big table and I can do it in more comfort, although I can put the silhouette cutter on my workbench if, as you can see, it's ever clear. At the moment my workbench is a terrible mess. That wooden cabinet behind there is the next thing. I've got to empty it. That's this thing. Got to be emptied, and then I shall dismantle that, and I shall use the long pieces of wood to improve the shelves up there, so that I have shelves all the way along. I've got some other wood if they don't turn out to be long or wide enough. Apart from that, that's really all I've done. Everything's just been moved about. The next job, as I say, is to get rid of that. I can then push everything back a bit further, and then we can start doing a proper redesign of the Inglethwaite layout. But I don't want to do that until I know what the redesign is, and I've got all the timber to make the front of it, to make the frame for it. And so in the meantime I shall be working on North Grove, and that will be the main focus of any modelling work I do for some time. Still got to put some lights underneath North Grove, because it is a bit dark there, but they won't get put there until the lights are freed up from over there on Inglethwaite. So just a quick update for you to show you what I've been doing, and what I've been spending my time on. I hope that me waving the camera about hasn't made you feel too giddy. I find it quite difficult to hold a camera still. I have the anti-shake switched on, but I don't think it works particularly well. So I'm going to wind this video up. I'm going to say thank you for watching. Any comments thankfully received. Subscribe, like or dislike if you must, and I'll be back possibly now, not until after Christmas, because things start to get more difficult up until then. So thanks for watching, and bye for now.